speaking the French accent. Why would you ask me to do something like this? Hmm? Do you want me to suffer? Hmm? Is that what you want? Is that what you want from me? Shame. Can I please explain Doobie's attack or for Noblesse on Shenhe again? I'm not sure I understand what's better and why. Sure. At a baseline, Noblesse is always better than 2-piece. But if you manage to have Noblesse on someone else on your team, then obviously you don't need her on Noblesse, right? So if you have Noblesse on someone else on your team, putting her on Noblesse doesn't do anything. So like, don't do it. Like, that's dumb, right? Like, it's not even a question, so we can put that out of our mind and focus on when you don't have another Noblesse on the team, right? And basically, Noblesse gives, like, Shenhe 20% attack, right? Which is basically the equivalent of a 2-piece already, right? 4-piece Noblesse is more attack than a 2-piece, right? But about as much as a 2-piece. So really, the only thing that you're getting more when you go 2-piece is you're getting 16% more attack. The equivalent of about 1 2-piece more, right? It's not a lot, right? You get 16% attack on Shenhe. In exchange for that, you lose 20% attack on all other characters on your team. Now, is it worth losing 16% attack on Shenhe to gain 20% attack on the rest of your team? Well, the answer to that is yes, very much so. Right, the whole purpose of Shenhe is that she buffs your other characters by having some of her motion value being added to their motion value, right? But if you actually look at that motion value, right, you look at that talent value, the percentage, right, it's 77.6, and you get 5 of them. If you look at any of the characters that you would buff with her, right, like Ayaka, her burst hits for 191, which is like 3 times more. And instead of hitting 5 times, maybe 10 if you do 2 E's per rotation, it's 19 times. In other words, if you're gaining as much attack on either unit, attack on the cryo unit you're buffing makes you deal more damage than attack on Shenhe. On top of that, you're getting more attack, right? It's 20 versus 16. Other heroes on the teams are EM Kazuha and Kokomi, but you have your cryo unit, right? You wouldn't be playing Shenhe if you didn't have a cryo unit. And just with one cryo unit, with one unit being buffed by Noblesse, that unit uses attack more effectively than Shenhe does. These multipliers are bigger. So gaining attack helps them more. Let's say your Shenhe has 3k attack, right? If you could take all of her attack, put her to 0 attack, and increase your Ayaka's attack by 3k when you play Shenhe, that would be very worth it, right? Attack on the other units you're buffing is more valuable than attack on Shenhe. Right, like, the reason you want more attack on Shenhe is not for her personal damage, because, like, Noblesse gives you damage percent, right? Like, that's not... If you look at personal damage, Noblesse is more personal damage on Shenhe, right? But the reason why you want attack on Shenhe is so that your other units do more damage. But the amount of damage that you gain from one attack is less than the amount of damage that you gain from one attack on Ayaka, or on Kea, or on Ganyu, right? Let me see if I can think of an analogy. I can't. I give up. You know what? I have a good analogy, okay? Think of it this way, okay? I'm Ayaka. Hi. Hello. My apologies. Right? That's me. I'm Ayaka. Okay? And Twitch is Shenhe, right? Giving money to Twitch, right? Like giving attack to Shenhe by like subscribing to me. It does help me, right? It increases my revenue. But giving me money, like giving me a $5 bill if you see me in the street, then Twitch is not like taking a part of it. When you give attack to Shenhe, you are increasing Ayaka's damage, but Shenhe's not, like, Shenhe's taking a part of that, right? She's taxing your money. When you give attack to Ayaka, there's no middleman. Yeah, you're doing tax evasion. True. Kuki is easier to play, but Raiden has higher damage ceiling. In general, yes, but I'd say that against the Weenut, it's kind of the other way around. Raiden is easier to play and Kuki... Because, like, the main reason why Kuki is easier to play is because she's a healer, right? But, like, no one has ever died to the Weenut. Like, the Weenut has, like, one attack that can deal damage to you. Most of his attacks are him literally just... And it doesn't even damage you. Even if you, like, stand in front of it. Like, it actually just doesn't damage you. Right? Like, people don't die to the Weenut. So the healing doesn't really matter. So against the Weenut, it's more a matter of, like, making sure you hit the seeds. Time to act. And making sure you always have your thing active. But like when playing Raiden, the Electro doesn't hit the seeds quite as often. The hitbox is too high. The hitbox is never too high. That's never the problem. Sometimes the enemy is too wide, so the hitbox is far. But I don't think there's a single enemy that, like, their hitbox is too high for Raiden to hit seeds on the ground. What the fuck? Did he just parkour a goat? Nah, he didn't just parkour a goat, man. No shot. I can't. Oh, I cannot. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. To me, the combat system in this game looks like a casual player explaining Genshin's combat. Like, when you hear people that are not really in theory crafting communities or meta communities talk about playing Genshin, you'll hear things like, yeah, I have this character in my party for when I get bored of my other character. Or I have this character in my... I have Hu Tao in my party for when Child's E is on cooldown. Right? It feels like... It looks like... At least how this person is playing, this might just be a consequence of IGN not being all that great, actually. But... it looks like there's nothing else in this game than that. Right, like, my best guess is that, like, okay, so far to me, it looks like the combat is basically just build a team where cooldowns line up well that covers, like, the different types of damage that you'll need for bosses. And then, like, rotate between your units to use their skills off cooldown, right?